The act of cutting is something intrinsic to humans. The first tools we ever built were tools for cutting. For this reason, I believe to cut is something deeply embedded in us, on our psyche. Since birth, we're marked by cuts. To be born is to emerge either from an organ that resembles a cut or from a literal cut on the mother's womb. As soon as a baby is born, he or she needs to be separated from his or her mom by cutting the umbilical cord. I was told that I suffered another cut when I was a baby. My grandfather, who was a physician, saw that I had a lisp caused by a tongue tie. The frenulum of my tongue would hinder me from speaking correctly. He made whatever loving grandfather should have done. He took me from my mother's arms, went to the kitchen, and asked my grandmother to hold me as he grabbed scissors and cut my frenulum. No anesthesia, no ice. A plain and simple cut. I am sincerely thankful for them for intervening, and for my mom for letting them do that. Sometimes I think that he might have cut too much, since I am constantly over-speaking. Nonetheless, this was an enabling cut, one that enabled speech. Another experience of cut happened when I was a child of 8 to 10 years. I was naked and jumping with my brother in my parents' bed, and my dad, who is a mechanical engineer, saw that one side of my scrotum was lower than the other, which could indicate an intestinal hernia. He was right, and I needed surgery to correct that. My biggest fear at that time was that I secretly believed that I was a robot, and the surgery would reveal the secret. I do not know where this belief came from, but I was pretty sure that to let others know about this wasn't a good idea. The surgery day came, I was operated, and when I woke up, I felt that everyone around knew that I was a robot, and they were pretending they didn't know it. That was also an enabling cut, one that somehow increased my symmetry. However, it was also a revealing cut. Something needed to be cut, to be seen through, to look into. If we analyze the act of cutting, we can see that it is essentially a spatial operation. As a gesture, to cut something intentionally is something that can mobilize us deeply. Hands, wrists, and arms need to be coordinated with eyes. Add to this the fact that our bodies are not naturally adapted to cuts. We usually need an instrument to perform the cutting. So the gesture begins with the instrument being held and positioned at point A and, with the right pressure and velocity, moved to point B. The cut is something that exposes by separating what was an unity. It changes what is in contact with what. Also, the cut usually has as some of its effects the production of an impossibility. The impossibility of rejoining as it was, what was separated by the cut. The rejoining comes with a residue, or an effect of the cut, the scar. In the digital realm, cutting has other characteristics. But first, is it really possible to digitally cut? Well, isn't virtual reality a cut? When I wear my headset, I'm not present anymore in the physical world. I become digitally born to this limited reality. But how can someone be born without any materiality? Obviously, I'm deceiving into thinking I'm digitally born. By whom? By numbers. Essentially zeros and ones. Looking back, I feel that I wasn't completely wrong in believing that I was a robot. Here, I exist in a way that is closer to it. But now, let's go back again to the tongue episode. As you can see, the tongues are here to be touched. Or better, I'm here to be touched by tongues. Digital tongues. Tongues as interfaces. The word language itself comes from the Latin lingua. To punish humanity for their pride, God gave man many languages, many linguae. Today I know that when my grandfather cut my tongue, he was freeing me from this divine punishment. By being able to speak, I'm freed from this God. Well, maybe I should have cut that last part.